happy. I just wanna see you. Black tea, uncut, straight to the gut, with the taste that's so right, with the touch that's so nice. I drink black tea and think of you, and everything you do, and how you look so good. I think of everything that I could.
She said I got that sweet taste of coffee with no sugar, that thick base. Put my lips on her and I sip, sip, sip. Black queens in my teacup.
Black tea.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some really hot topics and I can't wait to hear what you think.
Welcome back to Black Tea Uncut, guys. Well, I had to come on with this because this definitely hit my heart. I don't know if you're watching this season's Braxton's Family Values, but I am definitely going to watch this season. And let me tell you, I do not watch very much television whatsoever. I'm not a television person. I used to back in the day. You know, the Real Housewives of Atlanta was my thing, and then Real Housewives of Potomac at one point. Since then, nah, I don't watch anything. But as you know, I do like Tamar Braxton. Tony too. You know, Tony got all my hits. And Tamar too, to be honest. So, but of course, Tony has a longer catalog. So, but what has really come to my heart, and the reason why I decided I want to cover this season of Braxton Family Values. And I'm hoping you'll go on this journey, like, with me in terms of TV. Or at least I can give you the updates, because I'm definitely going to watch this. And I'm definitely going to cover this show, because I know a lot about the show. I don't think I've ever really missed a season, maybe the last one somewhat. But I'm definitely in for this one. And the thing is, this season, if you haven't heard, I'm sure you probably have, but Ashlee Braxton, which is Tony and Tamar's, and all their niece, is their brother's daughter, and she is alleging that she was, touched by Gabe, which is Trina's ex-husband, now deceased husband. And Gabe was the one that was not the father of either one of the boys that Trina has, but he raised them, and he primarily raised them alone. I mean, well, not alone. Trina was touring with Tony. So he was more like the mom figure versus the father figure. He played both roles, I would say, like most moms do. He did that as the male, as the father figure, although they were not biologically his children, neither one of Trina's boys. But now remember, Ashlee's sister deleted herself, and she allegedly has the same story with that same person. And all this will be on the Braxtons this season. Now, that's a lot to take in, so let me... So let me try to break it down and rewind, just in case there's some people that don't know about this. So again, Ashlee Braxton is Tamar's niece. She is Michael Braxton, the brother's daughter. And she had a sister that is now deceased. Allegedly, I believe it's known to self-deletion. And there's speculation that she self-deleted. Possibly a part of that has to do with what transpired with Gabe. Now, you remember Tamar has also went on Wendy Williams' show and said that she was touched every single day for years by some unknown or several family members. And if you remember, if I can find that clip, I'm going to put it here. Wendy did not want to hear that. She cut it short and did not allow it. Now, remember, Wendy and Tony were really cool, or maybe still are. They don't want to, they didn't want Tamar talking about that. So Tamar's really never told her story. She just told us that she was touched. Now, is that same person Gabe? Not sure. But as far as Ashlee Braxton and her sister, they were both alleging that it was Gabe. Now, what I'm going to play for you is Trina's response to the allegations that will be on this season's Braxton Family Values. Because Ashlee Braxton was going to be brought onto Tamar's podcast to discuss what happened, what she's alleging that happened to her from Gabe. But the sister said, no way, but don't do that. Bring her on to the show, Braxton Family Values, not to your podcast. So I'm going to also show you the first sit down where they're introducing Ashlee. I just want you to follow along with me because this is kind of layered. And this has been an ongoing speculation that I knew about for a very long time. But this is the first time it's being addressed on national television. So follow me here. Let me show you Trina's response. And then I'm going to show you some more. So just work with me here. Okay. So here's Trina's response to what is going to be revealed this season. Take a look at this.
Keep it for real, 100%. Forget what either side of the public says, for real. Okay, I'm going to say this. I cannot negate anyone's feelings in any way, shape, or form. Right. And I will say this. I think that you can never put a time limit on someone's feelings, their emotions, or even their version of what the truth may be to them. But I do wish that the people that were spoken about were able to tell their own version of their story, of their truth, because they're no longer with us.
Now, right there, don't get me wrong, I see what she's saying. That because Gabe is no longer here, because he did pass from cancer years ago. But she's saying because he's passed, that Ashlee should not mention it. But Ashlee brought this up while he was still here. And she tried to talk to Trina. And you'll see that as well. At least, allegedly, this is what she said. She said she called her aunt and told her what happened. She thought her aunt understood and was like on her side. Or understood what she went through. And then her aunt never spoke to her again. Now, at the time, I didn't know it was Trina. I didn't know if it was Trina or Tawanda. I kind of ruled out Tony because Tony wasn't married. So I didn't know which one it was. But come to find out, it's actually Trina with Gabe. So Trina allegedly talked to her niece, listened to what she said, pretended to believe her or to, feel sorry for her for what she's been through. And then threw her away and never really talked to her again. This is what Ashlee alleges. And I'm going to try and find all this to put in here. And maybe you've already seen it. I hope so. But anyway, but right here, Trina is, I'm not going to say diminishing her, but she's asking her basically to not mention it no more because Gabe is no longer here. What do you think about that, guys? Is that fair to Ashlee? If she's traumatized and her sister is already, gone, and some of her problems in life were what happened with her and Gabe, allegedly. And now you're saying you don't want her to bring it up because Gabe is no longer here? Like, Trina really is coming off bad to me. I mean, in my opinion. I mean, tell me, what would you do? If this was your husband that allegedly touched your niece and he's no longer here to defend himself, but this was brought to your attention while he was still here. Like, I'm just waiting to see what goes on this show. You see there's a lot of fighting that's going to go on between Tony and Tamar, it looks like. But anyway, let me get back into this. I just had to stop it there because I'm like, because Gabe is no longer here, she doesn't have a right. She's still living and she has to deal with these feelings and these, you know, emotions and psychological issues that stem from that. Okay, let's get back to it.
Because it did.
And that's not always fair. It's not always fair. And people have to talk about things when they're ready to talk about them. And yes, you guys are loud, Caleb.
You're loud as hell out there.
But I can't disregard anybody's feelings. I said what I said.
Everybody's entitled, and you know.
T. Cannon, I'm a Braxton follower, period. They shouldn't watch y'all if they want to hate or be negative. Well, you know what? But even in that vein, people have a right to their opinion.
Sometimes people watch just so they can.
Okay, so you heard that. She's really not here to hear what Ashlee has to say, being that it involves her ex-husband, it sounds like. And she's saying the reason why is because he's no longer here. So he cannot defend himself against the rumors or accusations or whatever. Okay. Now, let me show you this. This is the first time that they're going to bring Ashlee on. And for this season, she is supposed to reveal that what she alleges about Gabe. So this is the sit down in the very beginning. And this is how they basically start the show for Braxton Family Values. So please watch this with me this season, guys, because I think it's going to be really, really good. Very revealing and much more honest and raw. And not just on Tamar's part, but on the family as in a whole. Okay, so check this out. It really starts out light, but it's going to get heavy. So I think that's why they probably introduced her in a very light way. But just take a look. Okay, so right there you heard her say that she's basically not even doing this for herself. She's doing this to try to help others. To try to break other people out their silence. You know, that may be like they're living in prison to what happened to them. So let's get back to it. So you see right here, Tamar is admitting that, the same thing happened to her in so many words. And she's saying that that's the reason why she really reached out or allowed Ashlee to have a platform, which was her platform, Tamar's platform, because she went through the same thing. And she wished she would have had somebody that would have allowed her to speak. And so now, because she didn't, she wants to make sure she gives Ashlee that same, what she wished for, basically. Now, listen to this. This is what Ashlee said. Now, right here, she's not admitting to touch, per se, but she's admitting to inappropriate conversations and sexting with Gabe. Check this out. This is really mind-blowing that Trina is not loving on her niece, but shunning her niece. Listen to this.
So I'm 16. I'm at my aunt's house, and when I leave, I'm there for the summer. Her husband at the time decides to start sexting me. So sexting in a sexual manner. Okay, there was nothing physical that happened. Absolutely nothing physical. However, when my parents first brought it up to my aunt, she was there for me, very like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And as the years have evolved, that has turned into, it's your fault. It's turned into, you were old enough to know right from wrong. And it's turned into something physical happened and you did it. And for me, that's mind-boggling to me, because if there was something that was physical that happened, and I'm 16 years old, this makes this person right. you know the word and I can't use it. And so that is mind-boggling. It's just something that I don't really understand. I'm 16 years old. What I've learned in therapy is that it doesn't matter what age you are when this sort of situation falls into your lap, however you decided to handle it is however you decided to handle it. And it's the responsibility of the adult to have had the responsibility to handle it a certain way. But when you're 16, or it doesn't matter what age you are as a child, you're not equipped of how this works, and it just shouldn't have fallen into your hands anyway. And so I think the hardest part for me was trying to navigate as to why is it me? Do you know? Why am I the scapegoat? Why are you not talking to me? I didn't ask for it. And I think so much empathy is needed for people who have gone through this sort of situation, for you to really understand that we didn't ask for this situation to happen to us. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. I don't want this. This is not fun. This is my life. This is real. This is my family. It's not something that you ask for. And so you can only spend so much time thinking about it and pondering and wondering like what you could have done better, done differently. And I've just gone through enough therapy to just realize and understand that I handled it the way that I did, and it just shouldn't have been in my plate. And why do you want me to come to you and say, yes, I had a physical relationship with this person? Like, that makes him, do you know what I mean? I said that I wouldn't get emotional on this, and I don't know. This person has also had a platform to be able to talk and to be able to voice, show his character of who he is, and like we're just breaking bread with the person as if nothing has happened, or like it's just, I don't know. But I say all of this to say that there's so many of you who understand my frustration in this and my silence, and I've just been dealing with so many emotions.
So as you can hear, even in her voice today, not only has she suffered the loss of, her innocence, allegedly, to Gabe, violating, possibly, allegedly, her as a 16-year-old. But in the midst of that, just imagine you lose your own aunt. Your own aunt doesn't want anything to do with you because you let her know that you've been violated. You've been used. You've been preyed upon at 16 years old by who you look to as your uncle because he's married to your aunt. And he violates that space. Now, this is all alleged, but this is what is going on for her. And of course people can lie, but does it look like she's lying to you? I know we can't tell. We're not human lie detector tests, but I think I am. I'll just say that, and I'll still say alleged. But Trina need to do better. That's my opinion. Again, I'll say allegedly. Now let's check this one out.
So I told you that I was going to keep it real with you on this journey, that you were going to be in it with me, and I'm going to give y'all some updates. So first update is that I got a message yesterday from my Fanja, and he said to zip it up tight, don't speak. I know just what you're saying. Don't speak, girl. And that he lawyered up, and that I shan't speak of his name or the household and other things, etc., etc., and you know that he will take legal action. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop, that I'm going to be silenced. Everyone has the right to tell their story, and everyone has the right to say whatever it is that they want to say. So I made a really good YouTube video, kind of like just updating y'all about like how I've been feeling, because this is just what happens also when you decide to tell your story, that not everybody's going to agree with it. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody is going to, you know, cheer you on. And it's a roller coaster. There's going to be moments where it is super awesome and amazing. And then there's just moments where you just don't feel good. But I talk a lot about having emotional intelligence. So if you head over to my YouTube, in the video, I also put a link of a worksheet that shows all the different types of emotions. We have to have emotional intelligence, and we have to understand what we're feeling, where we're feeling in our body, why we're feeling it.
So guys, as you can see, this season is going to be packed, jam-packed with, I think, some of the most authentic, real, uncut honesty that we've gotten from any reality show in the last several years. It's finally going to come out on the Braxton Family Values. And I think this is something that we all need to take a serious look at, because this stuff is going on still today in households all over America, where these now women sometimes are being pushed to a side or ignored because they were not keeping a secret, or refused to keep a secret. And Ashlee Braxton is here to break through those barriers and say no more. No more hiding. No more keeping stuff in your home. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't keep certain things in your home, but things like this need to be discussed, especially when the aunt doesn't want to admit what happened. Trina, and you were one of my faves too, to be honest. This is very disheartening that you would shun your niece. If this is true, now like I said, it's all alleged, but if it's true that you shunned your niece all these years for a man that didn't even want you, because he cheated on you the entire time. And that was exposed on Braxton Family Values. So I don't have to say allegedly for that. He was twerking and squirting everywhere. So, all cross, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Because this is a very serious matter. But girl, you should not be talking about, because he's not here, this should not be discussed, because your niece still has feelings that need to be acknowledged. And so anyway, go on this journey with me, watch the show with me, and let's get into the Braxton Family Values, and let's see what's going on. And I thank you so very much for watching me here tonight at Black Tea Uncut. Love you guys.